What have you watched recently that's really stood out to you as being outstanding writing? Have you watched anything? I mean, so much good stuff out there at the moment. There has been some.
Do you mean film or telly?
Either. Is there anything?
You know, I watch so much stuff now, and it just sort of goes.
I know. But it's those ones that really, the ones that stay with you are the ones where you think, gosh, that's really kind of, when it really gets in your core, a story, and it just kind of.
I think there's a visceral physical reaction to something is quite rare, and It's a Sin hit that for me, to be fair. But there is one film that I just, it's something that pushes me to do better all the time, and it's Philomena, because I was at the London Screenwriters Festival. I'd seen the film. I was actually sat on an airplane coming back from LA, watched Philomena. That should have been name dropping, isn't it? And there's a point in the middle of that story that I actually felt a physical punch in the gut, because it was that realization moment, and it was just juxtaposed with some quite light-hearted stuff going on. Have you seen the film?
I haven't, no.
It's another good film to watch, and it's Judi Dench.
Yes, yeah.
And it was just, I'm not one of those people that cries at everything. I've got a friend who does. It's quite entertaining to watch. He'll cry at anything. It was a physical gut punch, and I thought, that's an amazing reaction. I love the way the writer has created that manipulation of that. And it's definitely something to aspire to. But I then had the absolute honour and pleasure to stand and talk to Philomena Lee, the woman this story is based on, the real woman, and her daughter at the Screenwriters Festival for half an hour, just in a networking event. And she was just sort of in the corner. And I was introduced to her because I'm from Liverpool, and that's where she ended up after the story this film portrays. And it just taught me the if you like, the duty of care we have to our characters to make them stand out and to tell their stories, but most especially when it's actually based on a reality. What a beautiful woman who it was an honor and a privilege to meet. Like I say, she just really had forgiven everybody, and she knew, the joy that this story had brought to people, but also the importance of the story in bringing closure to a lot of families and a lot of people who'd suffered very similar outcomes and are still doing so today. So it's a fabulous film. But there's so much good stuff out there, and even bad stuff teaches you something. Just fine not to write like that, but you learn why. So.